You can give it all you got, 'cause love is running through my veins. Oh, this line can't be tamed. There's fire in my blood. Burn.
Right then, hello everyone and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Flight Championship. We are here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix for another season. Yes, the ACOC continues its streak of visiting the circuit, as we were here last week for Formula E. We're now here for Formula 1, the main tier of the ACOC. We've got 12 minutes of Q1 just ahead of us. Lewis McIntyre, the first man out on track. In the commentary booth today is me, Miran MG, as always. And joining me for the first time in Formula 1 is Pausa. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you, Miran. It is another moment for me that I'll be commentating for ACOC, and this is the main tier of ACOC, the Formula One. Of course, quite a privilege to have join in the commentary booth once again.
Yes, it's absolutely lovely to have you here, Pausa, and for the main tier as well. Obviously, you've only commentated for Porsche Super Cup, so this is a brand new kettle of fish for you.
Definitely.
yeah, it is. As we will just go on board with Lewis McIntyre as he makes his way around the final chicane to start his lap, as we will observe this lap with Lewis McIntyre. Let's go through the tracks. The circuit Gilles Villeneuve, motor racing circuit located in Montreal in the Quebec region of Canada, was first opened in 1978. It was originally named Ile Notre Dame Circuit, however it was renamed to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve after the legendary Canadian hero who won here and then later tragically passed away, and the circuit was renamed in his honor. The Canadian GP was held here for quite a lot of years, and then there's been some other series that have run here as well. Series like the World Sports Car Championship, the precursor to IndyCar, Champ Car came here, and then a few NASCAR series here and there, and also the Rolex Sports Car Series came here as well. But mostly it's just been Formula One over the years. Now to the track details. The circuit has a track length of 4.361 kilometers and a total of 14 turns, and a race lap record of 1:13.0. So we should see some pretty short laps around here, equal to tracks like Monaco even, because it is a quite short lap around here, a lot of high-speed corners. As Lewis McIntyre will now just finish up his lap, and it is a 1:19.7. That's going to be the first time on the board for the man from the United Kingdom. Luca Farina slots in behind him, and then it's Victor Albom and Maximilian Novikov in the Williams who goes slowest out of the four who have set times at the moment. Josef Fredrik Schuto, impressive from him as he goes ahead of Luca Farina. Miran Evji in the Ferrari now goes fastest, as the times are now pouring in on the board. Alfred Klaus, the man who won last time out of Tuscany, currently P2. Jafari Blackwood goes ahead of Lewis McIntyre. Mohamed Patel there in P4. That's P5 as Fernando Tost now goes ahead of Samet Özkan, who's had a very well, he has a very good streak of points going at the moment. Lavos Asnishkai as well, who has impressed in the Renault this season so far. He currently is P4 as Tomas Mandic, the man in the Red Bull, cannot quite get ahead of Sasnishkai just yet, as Milka Singh, what a lap from him as he goes ahead of the McLaren of Fernando Tost, just about 6 tenths off Alfred Klaus there, as McIntyre set yet another improvement, waiting for the times to come in. The world champions, Gottfried Johansson, set their lap times. Victor Albom sets an improvement as waiting for 3 cars across the line. There's Parachki, who's been held up by Wojtek Kulasik there on his first lap, so he's P13. As what on earth? There's Josef Fredrik Schuto as he goes P6 in the Williams in Q1. So, Pausa, that's all the 20 times on the board then. Miran Evji fastest, and Josef Fredrik Schuto in the Rocket Williams Racing has gone P7.
Well, he's done a George Russell. He done a George Russell there, Suter. What big laps for the Williams guys, and as we see here, Mohamed Patel in the Racing Point with Lavan Sasnijkai didn't improve any times, still stays P6. We still got 6.5 minutes left. I think, wow, Luca Singh and Josef Fredrik Suter is, well, they definitely are the underdogs, and I think they have a pretty high chance of advancing to Q2 at this point.
Yeah, we could see Schuto's first Q1 appearance this season. That's a very good lap time, and we'll see if he does improve on that. or if he is able to stay in Q1, as Kulasek now sets an improvement, goes P8, Parachki only P13, and it is Parachki and Mandic then quite far down the order, as they're looking to improve at least a bit. Jafari Blackwood's currently on a lap. Franco Gamba down in P16 as well. Your bottom 5 currently Franco Gamba, Jafari Blackwood, Victor Album, Luca Farina and Maximilian Novikov, as Blackwood's going to cross the line here, but he cannot improve just yet. We'll see if he can get himself out of Q1. Elis Parashki is currently on a lap at the moment. He's still stuck behind Vojta Kulasek on track, so the man from North Macedonia surely must be frustrated here.
Oh boy, and I think, yeah, a little bit of lap traffic going on for Enis Parachki, and you see that Thomas Mandic goes 5th fastest. And now I think the one that has to be on a cut-off line, I think it's Kaiser Resnier and Franco Gamba as well. Both of them need some good lap times. There's Lewis McIntyre into P7 with the Toro Rosso car and 118.92. And now I think you could also see McIntyre. And his Parachki goes up P7 for Mercedes, and yeah, it's obviously it's going to be his main spots that he needs to survive the Q1 session. That's Thomas Mandic, and I think it's Fernando Toss that let him by in the McLaren.
Yeah. I think Mandic got past Tost and was able to push for a lap. Same goes for Enis Parachki. Not the best time it is for Parachki. He's behind Mohamed Patel at the moment. But it is still okay for him. It's enough to allow him to survive into Q2. Same goes for Thomas Mandic. Mohamed Patel with a quite good lap. Same goes for Lewis McIntyre, who might actually be able to get into Q3, possibly. He had a good chance at Tuscany, and he did get into Q3 last time out, which saw him make some quite nice overtakes to secure, I believe it was a P8. Either way, all eyes are going to be on this man, Josef Fredrik Schuto, who's going to try to get that Williams, pretty uncompetitive Williams, into Q2. Something that he and his teammate Novikov has not been able to manage. As I just say that, Maximilian Novikov goes P13, getting himself out of the elimination zone. Could it be one of the Williams cars into Q2? As Novikov is now up at P13. That knocks Luca Farina down into P20, last place at the moment, as Dennis Groff almost got held up by the Italian there, but yeah, he can now push on his lap, as it currently is a Ferrari front row lockout in the top spots at the moment.
Both in the top spots at the moment for the Ferraris. You can see there Jesper Johansson, and as being overtaken, Fernando Toss goes up P3 for the McLaren. 118.378. That's a bonkers lap there for the Spanish driver.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic from Tost. That's P3 for him in only, his 3rd or 4th qualifying session in Formula 1, I believe this is. As Samet Özkan goes P8, goes ahead of his teammate Lewis McIntyre. The Toro Rosso's looking quite strong in the season, actually, and it's great to see, considering where they were in 2017 and 2018. Samet Özkan, obviously Formula 2 runner-up last season, looking very, very good in F1. And he scored some decent points, as there is Victor Albom, and that is what the man from Denmark needs, P7. And I think that's got the Dane into Q2, finally. But that's a very good lap time from Victor Albom in the Haas, and that is definitely what he needs. It's a good lap from Victor Albom, as there's Franco Gamba, and I think, yeah, that's one of the racing points. I think that's Kaiser Rezhnia it is, who's currently P17. He needs to pick up his pace here, as he's got one final lap to do as he makes his way onto the middle sector. It's about 9/10 off the pole time there of Miran Evji at the moment, as he makes his way through turns 8 and 9, now on to turn 10, as Samat Özcan set an improvement. So does Miran Evji. But oh dear, Kai Cherezhny has got the Williams there of, I think that is Josef Frederik Schuto. Either way, Cherezhny making his way around the second sector. It's 1.5 off. I don't think it's going to be an improvement for Kai, unfortunately. A pretty horrid qualifying streak might just continue for the man from Poland. Let's see anyways, though, if he does at least get some improvement in, as he will cross the line, and he cannot improve. So I think he will. So I think that's Kai Cherezhny out of qualifying. But now, as the checkered flag falls, Novikov, Maximilian Novikov, currently in P16. As there goes Enis Prachi up at the P2, disrupts the Ferrari 1-2. Mohamed Patel in P10. Let's see if he gives that an improvement. But Novikov is going to be the man to watch, as we'll see if he can get an improvement in. A lot of people into the pits at the moment, but Josef Frederik Schuto is going to dearly have to hope that someone in the bottom 5 does not set an improvement so he can get that Williams into Q2. Novikov's into the pits, so he is out of qualifying. Still a very good effort from the young Russian. Lewis McIntyre will cross the line just about now. Let's see if he can set an improvement. Either way, he's safely into Q2. Josef Frederik Schuto, the man from Slovakia. Let's see if he'll finish up this lap as he makes his way around the final chicane. World champions on the right there. As he will cross the line, and he improves. He goes P12. So that is Josef Frederik Schuto, saved as Franco Gamba. Look at that, gets himself up to P8. Just in the dying stage of qualifying, and that is Q1 done and dusted. Miran Evji's fastest. And surprise, surprise, Josef Frederik Schuto, what a man, as he goes P13, and he is into Q2. But your 5 knocked out then are Wojtek Kulasek, very big surprise. Maximilian Novikov, Kai Cherezhny, Jafari Blackwood, and then Luca Farina. So, yeah, Pausa is not here, so I will just do this. I will just do this part alone for now. But yeah, that is very, very big surprise. I think the main talking point of this Q1 session is going to be that Josef Frederik Schuto, for the first time, gets that Williams into Q2 in this season. Very, very well done from Josef Frederik Schuto. Finally, he gets what he deserves. Victor Albom as well, who's got into Q2 with a pretty good lap. He did quite well. Fernando Tost looking very, very good in that first qualifying session. Went up into P3 at one point in his McLaren. And then Franco Gamba, who went P8. Just in the final few moments of qualifying, he was able to get his Papaya McLaren into 8th place, which saw both McLarens into Q2, so it's nice for them, but it's a bit of a shame for Renault, as Wojtek Kulasek was knocked out in Q1. He will start P16, and then Luca Farina, who will start last. That is not the best qualifying performance for the young Italian. They had Kai Cherezhny, who's really not been able to get off the back foot this season. So Q2 getting on the way, then, and it's Josef Frederik Schuto eager to get out on track. I'm sure he would be, considering that it's his first Q2 appearance this season. It's very nice to see him out there. Obviously, Schuto, still a good driver. A lot of people seem to forget that now that he's dealing with quite subpar machinery. Remember back to 2017 when Williams were there up in the midfield. Schuto was regularly competing for the top midfield positions alongside people like Franco Gamba. So he was doing very well, and he is still a great driver, and a lot of people have seemed to forget that. even though he was the only non-point scorer last season in F1. Now then, as Shuto and Singh there in the background, just behind him, make their way around turn 10, the hairpin, as it is called in French. I will not attempt any French pronunciation. Last time I did that, it went absolutely horribly. Either way, as they make their way down the casino straight on board with Josef Frederick Schuto, as he makes his way around the wall of champions. Now then, for a lap of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve with Josef Frederick Schuto. So on to the first turn. Very snaily section as they head on to turn 2, Virage Senna, staying on the inside line there. As you head on to turn 3, quite a sharp braking zone as trying to line up the car for turn 4 here. Now for turn 5, then now to turns 6 and 7. Yet another chicane. On the exit there, as there is the Mercedes there just up ahead. As they head on to turn 8 and turn 9, Mercedes getting out of the way for Schuto there, nice one. Could have used a bit more curve on the exit there, but it's fine as he makes his way down to the run into turn 10, the hairpin. This is where most drivers are going to make mistakes. Nice on the apex there. Now onto the casino straight. There's a little kink in the road here. That's technically turn 11. This little kink is technically a turn for some reason. As he makes his way onto the final chicane. Turn 12 and turn 13. On the right hand side there is the Wall of Champions, or also known as the Quebec Wall. But that is a lap with the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve as Josef Frederick Schuto crosses the line. It's a 1:20.159. And Milka Singh just behind as well, follows suit, sets out lap time in 1:26.34, so he's gone 5 tenths slower than Schuto at the moment. Franco Gamba's just going to finish up his lap, so is, or I believe that was the Red Bull who's just going to start his lap. I think that is Thomas Mandic. As Miran Evgi now sets at 1:18.471, and is actually 3 tenths slower for the time being. As Mohammed Patel goes past Franco Gamba, the man obviously who he replaced at Racing Point, who then moved to McLaren. Lewis McIntyre, let's see if he can get himself into Q3 and carry on that good run of form that he had from Tuscany. Victor Albom is going to surely have to hope for better here at Canada. And what he did in Tuscany was a horrid weekend for the man from Denmark, and he's going to have to hope for much better now in here in Montreal, as Albon makes his way onto turn 6 and 7. Milka Singh goes past Josef Frederick Schuto as Jesper Johansson's down in P9, so I think something's happened to the defending champion as he's behind Labasas Nishke at the moment. Jesper Johansson, obviously, I think he's lost a bit of ground in the championship standings. Or I think he's actually gained on Miran Evgi now. It's only 3 points separating the two at the top. So it's Evgi on 86, then it's Johansson on 83, then it's Alfred Klaus on 81. So it is actually very, very close to the championship table, and any one of those 3 Swedish boys could come out in the top of the championship after this round. So it's going to be very, very exciting. As Johansson trying to get past Josef Frederick Schuto here. Schuto who overtook Johansson on his outlap, obviously. As Johansson's going to set a lap time, but I don't think it's going to be an improvement, as Josef Frederick Schuto and both Milka Singh go past Johansson. Jesper Johansson currently is last. He's P15. And this is absolutely horrible for Jesper Johansson, as he's being completely held up. He's gone out at the worst possible moment. And he's now being held up by 2 cars. So your bottom 5 currently is Zasnishkai, Tost, Shuto, Singh, and then Johansson, surprisingly. Both Toro Rossos could get into Q3, and Victor Albom is currently P10. Jesper Johansson, though, he's gonna have to hope that Shuto gets out of the way as he tries to move down the inside, but Shuto's not getting past that. There is quite a bit of a kerfuffle going on here. As Singh and I think that's Özkan going side by side, as they're gonna be wheel to wheel heading down the Johansson's in the pits. So Johansson most likely frustrated with Josef Fredrik Schuto not getting out of his way. I think he's gonna try and go out once again if he sees if he is able to go out again. That's the thing. Franco Gamma, currently in P6, very, very well done from the Italian. He crosses the line, he improves. Obviously not enough to match Thomas Mandic, but still an improvement for him. That should be the Italian safely into Q3. Samet Özkan as to Fernando Tost now goes P9 and knocks Victor Albom down into the elimination zone as Jesper Johansson is back out on track. I think now it is time for Johansson to set a lap as we observe the train behind Josef Fredrik Schuto at the moment. Lewis McIntyre just here at the moment in P10. He needs to improve at the moment, McIntyre, if he wants a safe chance of getting into Q3. Victor Albom's out once again as Schuto and Singh are in the pits. So Schuto is out of Q2. That was expected as McIntyre goes P8 ahead of his teammate Samet Özkan. And that should be Lewis McIntyre safely into Q3, I believe. As Parachki comes into the pit lane there. Fernando Tost looking to get into Q3 once again. I have to say, it's absolutely phenomenal debut performances from Fernando Tost so far. He's really, really proven himself in that McLaren, and he's done incredibly well. So I really have to hand it to him as Fernando Tost goes P8 ahead of the 2 Toro Rossos. Jesper Johansson's just gonna get a lap in. So let's see if he can get himself into the top 10. He should be able to. I would be more surprised if he doesn't. As Johansson makes his way around turn 3 and 4. Obviously, he wants to get into Q3. He wants to secure that pole so he can get ahead of his championship rivals in the race. That will be optimal for Johansson. Starting on pole would be the biggest advantage for Johansson because we know what he is capable of when he is in the race lead. We know how much he can pull away by and how calm he is in the race lead. So I think that will be quite optimal for Jesper Johansson. But we'll see if anyone can take pole. But the checkered flag is now out. So we're waiting for 5 cars across the line. That's gonna be this man, Fernando Tost, who is the first man across the line. As he'll cross the line, he improves. Stays P8 though. Jesper Johansson should be able to get up to the top there with this lap, and he does. Goes P5. Knocks Samet Özkan out of Q1. But let's see them. As Lamas Asnishka is on a lap, he's going to try and get himself into Q3. Maybe not, as he's into the pits. I think Victor Albom's on a lap here. Yes, he is. Let's see if Victor Albom, who's currently P12, still going to be a quite good qualifying for him. He's into the pit lane. So Victor Albom will start P12, almost going to Q3. So I think it was quite alright performance from him. but he will start in 12th place. Thomas Mandic is gonna finish up this lap. He'll be the final car to cross the line. And across the line he goes, and it's no improvement, and that means that is Q2 done and dusted. It's Miran FG fastest once again, and your 5 knocked out are Samet Özkan, Viktor Albom, Laman Sasnishkai, Josef Fredrik Schuto, and Milka Singh. Yeah, it's a shame for Samet Özkan, who was just barely knocked out there, but Jesper Johansson remaining in last place for the majority of the session. Looked a bit hairy for the Super Swede when he was able to get back up into Q3. Yeah, Lewis McIntyre, who is into Q3 once again. I have to say, very well done from McIntyre in the Toro Rosso. I think Toro Rosso and also Red Bull will be quite happy to have 2 great drivers in their cars finally. Josef Fredrik Schuto, obviously P14. He did all that he could, but there's only so much he can do. But P14 still all right for him. Lavas Asnishkai P13, and then Viktor Albom quite. I think he was hoping for Q3 there, but P12 in the Haas is still all right. He could be for good points. So could Samet Özkan as well. As we're now here for Q3. Third and final stage qualifying again is Fernando Tost, who is the first man out. Both McLarens in the Q3 as well. Once again, McLaren looking very, very strong. In this first half of the season, we'll see if that performance does carry over to the rest of the races, but they have looked very good. As Tost makes his way around the circuit onto the hairpin, as Pausa is back. Hello.
Hello. It's a little bit busy throughout the Q1. You have at the end of Q1 through the Q2. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll update you on the. We're just in Q3 now. Lewis McIntyre made it into Q3. Samet Özkan almost made it, so did Viktor Albom. And the 2 McLarens, and then Mohammed Patel made it as well. As Fernando Tost will just start his lap here now.
At his own flying lap now, it just comes around turn 1-2, then to the flicked chicane 3 and 4, where of course in 2019 Vettel and Hamilton have a little bit of a moment, but we're not going to remind about that. The 5 turn 6, nice and smooth into next corner, a little bit straight, then took it in for turn 7 and 8. There's a Ferrari in front of them. I think it's either Miran FG or was it? Wait.
Dennis Groff.
Yeah, Dennis Groff. And then into the hairpin, the famous hairpin. Nigel Mansell stalled out the car in 1991. And then into this long straight. This is obviously where the overtakings may happen the most, and they're gonna finish up the fight in this chicane, rounding off into the World Champ, into the World Champions corner, and then here comes through the line for Fernando Tost, and he sets the bar 118.719.
That's actually a pretty good lap for Fernando Tost into the 118s. That is quite a decent lap for the McLaren driver. But thank you for guiding us through that lap, Pausa. Alfred Klaus. A 118.278. As we're now waiting for the other cars to cross the line, about 4.5 minutes remaining in the session. There goes, I believe, the Toro Rosso of Lewis McIntyre. who's going to start his lap there. Thomas Mandic goes behind his teammate. As Mohammed Patel, yet another Q3 appearance for the man in the Racing Point. He's really been smashing it now with Racing Point. As he will cross the line, he goes P4, just a few hundredths of a second behind Fernando Tost at the moment. World champion Dennis Graf, who hasn't won yet this season, nor has he taken a pole, which is very, very surprising for the 2017 world champion. We'll see if he can get up to pace now, as he will just make his way around the final chicane.
The final chicane there, Dennis Graf onto the straight, and he sits a 1:18.349. That's only good enough for second place. Alfred Klaus even betters his personal best lap time, 1:18.145. Here comes Miran FG now for another Ferrari car, and he sets up into second place, overtakes Dennis Graf, and then Enis Parachki goes up third. Here comes Lewis McIntyre now being on, being as a talk to the other Red Bull driver. McIntyre only sits 8th fastest overall. He's only won in the 119s right now. Franco Gamba, meanwhile, goes up 8th fastest, pushes McIntyre now down to 10 as Jesper Johansson goes pole, 1:18.019. Big lap.
Yeah, I thought that lap time from Alfred Klaus would honestly be unbeatable. It looked very, very strong. Miran Evji, who topped Q1 and Q2, could not challenge Klaus, who looked very strong. But then there just comes Jesper Johansson, 10th faster than Alfred Klaus for the time being. Let's see if the Super Swede is able to clinch pole. But Klaus and Evji, the two other Swedish drivers, remember, looking very strong. All of the top 3 in the championship fight, so it's going to be very, very close. But let's see if any of the others can disrupt that all Swedish top 3 at the moment, as Dennis Graf improves. He can't improve out of P5 though. Alfred Klaus improves, gets a bit closer to Jesper Johansson, but he can't take pole from him just yet. Neither can Miran Evji, who doesn't set an improvement. Lewis McIntyre, who's currently P10. Let's see if the Toro Rosso driver can manage an improvement, as he will cross the line now. And he improves, but he stays in P10 at the moment. Enis Parachki is into the pit lane. So, yeah, he's not. I think he won't run for a bit longer, as Jesper Johansson, yet another improvement, as he goes into the 117s. It's a 117.84 or 8. God, can I speak? Hello? 117.801 for Jesper Johansson. That surely looks like a very unbeatable time, Pausa.
There is the only one in 1:17.8 on this Q3, and we only have a minute to go. And here he goes now, Dennis Graf coming into the final chicane, and let's see, he comes off the final corner, and he's going to stretch it out all of the extra track so that he can possibly gain. It only goes 5th fastest. Fernando Toss improves his lap time but stays 6th. Here comes Thomas Mandic, just right behind Lewis McIntyre, getting his toe, getting the DRS, but I mean the DRS is available to everyone in the qualifying session, so doesn't really gain that much advantage here. But oh wait, Thomas Mandic goes into the pit lane.
Yeah, so Mandic sees no more point in running, I guess. He's going to start P7, which is not optimal for the man who secured his first ever race win. Just gonna finish up his lap here. Experiencing some technical issues once again. There we are. Gamba did not set an improvement there, as we got 10 seconds remaining in qualifying. Klaus and FG, look at that. Klaus and FG are in the pits, so they won't be challenging Johansson for pole. Realistically, the only people now that could steal the pole away from Johansson is Graf and Parachki. Graf's in the pits. So realistically, it's looking more and more in the favor of Jesper Johansson now, as the checkered flag has fallen. Only man who can stop Johansson out on track is his teammate Enis Parachki, who's currently in P4. And wherever he is out on track at the moment, I have no idea.
No idea for that, but here it comes. Well, really bizarre incident, really bizarre occurrence here. Lewis McIntyre, is he going to try to go for a lap? Yes, he does. Rounds the final corner. Could he even improve his lap time from 10th on the grid? Can he even improve it? Just comes out the final corner. He improves, but it wasn't enough to go up further in the spots. Franco Gamba, meanwhile, comes into the finish line. Only 8th fastest. Oh boy,
Yeah.
and here comes Ines Parachki, the only man who could stop Jesper Johansson from getting a pole position. Now rounds the final corner now, and here goes just go for full throttle here, down into the straight. Was it enough? No, it wasn't. Jesper Johansson is your pole position.
Yeah, so a very interesting qualifying there, but it is going to be Jesper Johansson who takes pole here at the Canadian Grand Prix. As that is a pretty eventful Q3 session. Alfred Klaus will start P2 and then Miran Evci P3, so it's an all-Swedish top 3, and then you got Enis Parachki from Macedonia there in P4, Thomas Mandic and Dennis Graf, not where they want to be, P5 and P7, especially Dennis Graf, who's been chasing down a race win, but he's been unable to the entirety of the season, so I think he is quite disappointed with that. But Johansson, we know what he's capable of when he starts from pole. Usually he's famed for his dominant drives from pole position where he wins comfortably. But Alfred Klaus, remember, he's famed for making very, very big... He's famed for making nice overtakes to take the lead, just like he did in Tuscany and just like he did in Spain last season. So it is going to be, I think it's going to be a pretty phenomenal battle. And they got Miran Evci in P3, who's looking to chase down another victory. So you got all these three guys who are chasing a second win of the season. And they're also separated by about 4 points in the championship. It's going to be quite close, Paolo, don't you think?
It is really close for these votes for the top 3. Well, Miran Evci leading the championship with Jesper Johansson, followed by 3 points, and then Alfred Klaus in Red Bull with 81 points. Gonna be tough. It really is gonna be tough, and it's really gonna be tough to predict who's gonna win this race, who's gonna lead in the championship. But yeah, all 3 Swedish drivers on the top 3. So this would be a little bit of a Swedish battle here for the championship and the race itself.
It's low rigged, boys. But yeah, I think we'll be treated for a nice little battle between the top 3. The start is going to be the most crucial because that is where you're going to make up the most position gains. So that is going to be it's going to be very crucial for the top 3, especially because those little points could determine how the championship is going to look heading out of Canada. But now here we are for the starting grid. Then I'll take positions 1 to 10, and then you'll take 11 to 20. So it's Jesper Johansson who starts on pole. The Super Swede on pole position once again. Let's see what he can do. But he's going to have Alfred Klaus to deal with there in second place, accompanying him on the front row. Miran Evci for Ferrari could not quite take pole. He starts in P3, and accompanying him on row 2 is Enis Parachki. Dennis Graf, the 2017 world champion, starts in P5. He's able to make up some positions in the race, followed by Fernando Tost there in P6. Thomas Mandic starts in P7, followed by Franco Gamba in P8. Then it's the 2 Brits of Mohamed Patel and Lewis McIntyre rounding out the top 10.
P11 goes to Simon Oskan for the Toro Rosso driver. Victor Albon lines up alongside Oskan. Laban Zaniski lines up 13th for the Renault. And then Joseph Frederick Suto lines up 14th place. Row 8, Milka Singh, the Indian driver for Alfa Romeo, lines up 15th. And then Volta Kulasek lines up 16th place, the Czech driver. Maximilian Novikov lines up 17th, and then Kaiser Resnier lines up in row 9. And then rounding out the top 20 is Jafari Blackwood, the Jamaican driver for Haas and Luca Farina.
Yes, so it's going to be a very, very exciting race. I'm sure The top 3 in the championship, all starting 1, 2 and 3 as the lights are now coming on. Jesper Johansson's on pole and it's Alfred Klaus in P2. As we are on the way for the Canadian Grand Prix, and it's a good start for Jesper Johansson as he already tries to cover off Alfred Klaus. Miran Evji with quite a good start, hasn't got the jump on Alfred Klaus into the first corner as they head into turn 2. Klaus on the inside defending from the Ferrari of Miran Evji as Evji's going to have to defend from Endus Paratsky there as he tries to line up alongside the Swede, but it's a quite calm start in front there as Fernando Tost trying to make the overtake of Dennis Graf, but that has not worked for him just yet as Johansson leads from Klaus, and then it's FG and P3, so nothing's changed there just yet as Tost making the move on the Dennis Graf here. Is this really gonna work for the young Polish driver? Go on, Fernando, as the two are gonna be side by side now heading into turn 5. Or sorry, turn 8 that is actually. But now Tost on the inside of Dennis Graf, and Dennis hang on to this as you're gonna be wheel to wheel heading into the hairpin turn 10. Graf's gonna have the inside line. Surely it should be the better line coming into this part of the racetrack. Tost though still defiant on the outside. Oh, goes a bit wide, but I think he's still gonna be able to hang on to Dennis Graf as they head down the casino straight wheel to wheel. A bit more battling going down, going at the back there as well as Gamba and Patel, I think, dueling for position. But now heading into the final chicane, surely they can't go side by side through here, but they have, as Tost is going to be on the inside line there. The battle has continued for almost the entire lap now as they head into turn 1. They're going to be side by side once again. Fernando Tost on the inside goes over the curve there a bit. Graf though on the inside, successful defense for Fernando Tost. What a battle that was. I think there's a crash and it's Lewis McIntyre, and McIntyre, who's made contact with someone, he's into the barriers, and I don't think he can get the Toro Rosso running. And Lewis McIntyre, who started so well in the points, he's out at the Canadian Grand Prix. I can't believe it.
Massive disappointment there for Lewis McIntyre, who was lining up in 10th place early on, and it definitely be a disappointment as you see now. Maximilian Novikov battling alongside Kulisek now. Novikov goes down the inside. They're still alongside each other. Here it comes now. Kulisek threads the needle on the outside. Now into the hairpin they go. Novikov hanging on the inside line. He might try to go on Milko Singh as well, but it wasn't meant to be. And you can see there the hats of Jafari Blackwood making up a little bit of grounds here. And here comes the Renault once again, trying to look for a move there. Kulisek, Foto Kulisek, down the inside now, into the chicane, almost a 3 wide. And now here it goes now, Jesper Johansson sets the fastest lap time as well. Novikov gets in front of Kulisek, but then you can see Jafari Blackwood there alongside each other now into turn 1. On the inside, Blackwood still trying to hang on. Now it's on the outside into turn 2. And here you see Blackwood still holding on the outside. It's going to be clear enough. Yes, it is. Jafari Blackwood moves up to 16th place. Big battle is making on here for the first couple of laps of the Canadian Grand Prix. Here comes Thomas Mandich now trying to look on the inside of Fernando Tost. Tost blocks him off now into the other chicane, and now it's gonna lead up to a straight and then into the hairpin. Thomas Mandich really trying looking for gaps that he could possibly see. And here goes now Mandich back on the slipstream of Fernando Tost there. And then you could see there Muhammad Patel just right behind her.
Yeah, it was a great battle. I accidentally pressed the mute button on my microphone and I was speaking. I was wondering why no one heard me.
Well, that's a whelp.
Yeah. Oh God. Thank you for continuing the commentary though. Yeah, a lot of battles then in the first few laps. Novikov and Black were getting past Kulisek there, so they've done quite well. Mandich, who's unable to get past Fernando Tost here. He's going to want to get past the McLaren as soon as possible. But Jesper Johansson then at the top to set the fastest lap of the race. Now leads for a second from Alfred Klaus. So Johansson doing what he does best then. But I think most battles here are going to be in the midfield. as we witness Thomas Mandic still chasing down Fernando Tost as they head into the hairpin. See if anything comes out of this though, as currently Mandic not able to get past Fernando Tost as he went a bit wide there on exit. I think they had a bit of a poor exit out of the hairpin, and I think that's allowed Mohammed Patel, the man who obviously was replaced by Thomas Mandic at Red Bull, to close up. Milka Singh, who is now on the back of Josef Frederick Schuto, is going to want to try and overtake the Slovakian. We'll see if anything comes out of that though, as Fernando Tost now says the fastest lap of the race. What on earth? So Fernando Tost with a 1:20.142 now is at the fastest lap of the race so far, in lap 526. He's actually got some quite good pace now. I think I might understand why Thomas Mandic is not able to catch up to him. Either way, a bit of a battle further down at the back. Viktor Albom versus Laban Zasnishkai, as Albom, who was P12, he started P12 and he still is P12, so not too bad from Viktor Albom just yet, but he's trying to overtake Laban Zasnishkai, currently in P11. As they head into the hairpin, Albom still trying to chase Zasnishkai, but he's got Josef Fredrik Schuto possibly to worry about behind as they head down the casino straight. Albom with DRS. About 3:10 separate him and Laban Zasnishkai at the moment. Jesper Johansson retakes that fastest lap, 1:20.137 currently, as it's now 1.2 to Klaus, so that gap is building. As they head through the Virage Senna, a bit wide there for Albom, trying to take an alternative line maybe, but yeah, he's not been able to get close enough to Zasnishkai just yet. We'll see if anything comes out of that. Viktor Albom is the second time at the circuit now, because we have only raced there 2 times in Formula 1. For some it's the first. Namely people like Novikov and Black would have never raced at the circuit, because they were graduates from Formula 2, and the only series to race here was IndyCar, and we haven't seen any IndyCar graduates in F1 yet. But we might have one soon on our hands. Daniel Walla is doing very, very well in Formula 2, so maybe he could earn up a promotion next season. Who knows? But what I wanted to say though was, yeah, this track has only been used in IndyCar and then Formula E last week. So yeah, for some it's the first time they're racing here. For example, this man Maximilian Novikov, P15 he currently is at the moment. He's made up, I believe, 1 position at the start, so that is quite good for him. As we will now look at the position gains from the start. Top 7 is entirely untouched. I think there's I think Singh was looking for a move on shooter there, but top 7 completely untouched. Nothing's changed. That is incredible. I've never seen anything like that. And there is Mohammed Patel, as there's Kulasek on the inside of Jafari Blackwood, as he's going to try to slip past on the inside into the hairpin. But they're going to be side by side now, heading down the casino straight in onto the final chicane, as it's going to be Kulasek on the inside. Blackwood trying to cover off the Czech driver as much as possible as they head into the braking zone. Kulasek over the curbs then, as it's going to be Blackwood who successfully defends from the Czech driver. Kulasek still looking for a way past. He looks to the outside though. Nothing coming out of that yet. So Blackwood successfully defending from Kulasek. Nice little battle there between the two, as Luca Farina and Kai Cherezhny are going to go side by side. Horrible, not very good stop for Kai Cherezhny, as he's fallen down the order. As he has a look on the outside there, but he can't make the move on Luca Farina just yet. These two were championship rivals in Formula 2, remember? And now they're duking it out in F1. That's very nice to see. As Cherezhny on the outside then of Luca Farina as they head on to turn 8. It's going to be Cherezhny on the outside into entry, but it's going to be the inside line into turn 9 here. Luca still hanging on. Very, very great battle between the two, both not wanting to give an inch as Farina gets the better exit, but Cherezhny is going to send one on the inside of Farina, late on the brakes for Kai Cherezhny. And Farina a bit wide there on exit, but I think Cherezhny is going to have this as they head down the Casino straight. No, I think they're still side by side as they head on to the final corners, turn 12 and turn 13. Farina actually with that Ferrari engine in the back, just a bit ahead, as if there's Farina on the inside over the curves, almost went into Cherezhny there, and that's going to compromise Farina on exit. I think that's going to allow Kai Cherezhny to finally get past. No, it's not. It's going to be Farina's going to try it on the inside. Cherezhny hopping over the curbs there as Farina's having a look on the outside, and I think Cherezhny is just about ahead. Luca Farina tries it on the outside. He's going to have the inside line to turn 3. What a battle this is going on for the entire lap now. But it is going to be Kai Cherezhny, I think, now, who is just ahead of Luca Farina. That was a great battle between the two. And it is Kai Cherezhny who comes out victorious after a long and grueling battle. It's great to see, ladies and gentlemen. And that puts Cherezhny in P18. Now he's got Wojtek Kulasek ahead of him. Milka Singh, who's currently in P14 here, is trying to overtake Josef Frederick Schuto, but nothing he hasn't been able to for the time being. As Schuto, who's doing very well in P13. As we said, obviously P13 yields no points. As Miran Evji now sets the fastest lap, that's interesting. So Evji might start to push now a bit and try and get Alfred Klaus quite possibly. But Milka Singh, who is not been able to get past Schuto. Schuto, as I said, doing quite well. Obviously P13 yields for no points, but still a very, very good performance. It's going to be his season best finish if things finish like this. Thomas Mandic, who is still trying to get Fernando Tost, but he has been stuck behind the McLaren for ages now. It probably feels like to him, and he's lost so much time to Dennis Grafter as he has a look on the inside of Fernando Tost. Pushes the McLaren driver a bit wide, but he can't quite get past just yet.
I can't get past just yet for Thomas Mandic. As you can see, there's a big train in this pack. As we see Maxim Novikov having to use a slipstream behind Milka Singh. Singh trying to yield a little bit to the left, try not to let the guy in the back try to slipstream and make a tow. You see him there, everybody's just going to the DRS train at this point for the backpack of the grid.
Yeah, it is quite a DRS train here. So we'll see what comes out of that. Either way, anyways, Thomas Mandic, who hasn't been able to get past Fernando Tost, unfortunately for him, as he heads down into turn 8. He's all over the back of that McLaren, but he just has not found the opportunity to make a move, and I think it must be quite frustrating for Mandic.
Yes, yeah, he probably trying to find some time, because if he just goes straight and he just tried to go down the inside, I thought he's gonna clobber the McLaren. That was a bit too close for comfort there, Thomas Mandic.
Yeah, Mandic getting a bit impatient, it looks like, but yeah, that's just lost him time to toss ahead. So wasn't maybe the smartest move, but yeah, he has to be patient here. As Dennis Graf now says the fastest lap. That's interesting.
Interesting. Is it 1:19.387, I think, and also yeah, you could see everybody's just losing a little bit of time because of that tire degradation. And here we see Jafari Blackwood just still stays right behind Maximilian Novikov, and just running outside into that turn 2. Nothing much is still going on, but I think it's because of the DRS train as well, with the dirty air making the cars, and especially it's not the current gen car that we have in real life Formula 1, it's still the 2019 spec car, so there's still going to be a lot of dirty air creating behind of the rear wings as well.
Yeah, of course. Dirty air, a big issue in these cars, so it is quite hard to follow. But we'll see if anyone's able to attempt any moves here at least. Jafari Blackwood, who is on the back of Maximilian Novikov as he goes a bit wide. That's going to allow Wojtek Kulasek to inch a bit closer to the Formula 2 champion. But yeah, nothing is happening here just yet. I think it's just a classic case of DRS trade, as we're just about halfway now done with the race. Jesper Johansson, as I said, doing what he does best and leading every lap of the race since the start. This is going to be very good for Jesper Johansson, as I think he's going to come out of Canada if things finish like this in the top 3 in the lead of the championship from Miran Evji.
And then here you see once again Thomas Mandic still right behind Fernando Toss in a McLaren. So it looks he's just trying to edge closer to Fernando Toss, and here it goes into the straight. Now into the hairpin. Yeah, I think he's a little bit impatient there, going wide into the hairpin. That might lost him a bit of time. But he will try, and here it goes, DRS opened. And I mean, even though, well, this ain't real Formula 1, isn't it? Because the DRS has been open for both of the drivers, and maybe all of the drivers actually. It's not.
Yeah,
yeah. No
Assetto Corsa's DRS is you just open. They just kind of open it whenever they want in the DRS zones. It doesn't have to be within 1 second of the car, because there's no way of implementing that into the game files, unfortunately. But
yeah, unfortunately, I think. But we'll do what I guess we'll just adjust to the situation as we speak. As we see now, Thomas Mandic on board with him. So it's a little bit just behind. I think it's about half a second there. And here it goes now into the second chicane, going up, going for a straight, and now into the hairpin. This is where, of course, he might have a lack of. Here it goes into the hairpin. Now it's a little bit closer, I think, but it's now stretching out to about 0.6 of a second. And now here it goes. You can see that Fernando Toss a little bit escaping away now from Thomas Mandic.
yeah, Mandic is just, he looks to have, his pace looks to have dropped a bit. I think Tost is pulling away.
Yeah, I think he pulled away a little bit. He might, yeah, you can see that he got a personal best lap for him, and he definitely improves a little bit of pace going on here. But here comes Thomas Mandic once again, just following behind, and you can see actually the bottom 10 actually improves it all. And moving on here, as you can see the gaps, you can see it spread out quite decently there. Jesper Johansson still in the lead, Alfred Klaus in second place. Miran Evji is only 0.06 of a 0.6 of a second in front of, actually behind, Alfred Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus, I just realized that gap used to be 1.2. He's closed it down by 0.2 of a second. And Miran FG is, I think he might be closing down on Alfred Klaus as well. Dennis Graf, who set the fast lap a few laps ago, has not really gained anything on Enes Parashki, but we'll see if he is able to close down that gap to Parashki as he sets on yet another fastest lap of the race. So we'll see if he's able to close down to Parashki there in P4.
It could have closed down there. I think it was 8 tenths of a gap between him and Enes Parashki. So maybe we'll see a move making, but we're into the middle part of the race. So these tires are gonna struggle a little bit of the tires, and maybe some of them being damaged. And you get Thomas Mandich trying to look for a move on the inside on the second chicane, and he's really close now. And here he goes. He's trying to go for it now on the inside. Toss still blocks him, and here goes Mandich. Now maybe have a chance to overtake Fernando Toss. He goes still trying to look for a move, trying to find the room here, and here it goes into this hairpin. No, still a little bit going wide for Thomas Mandich, and it's still not enough.
That is not nice for Thomas Mandich as he tried it, but Tost, I have to say, incredible on the defense. As Mandich cannot quite get past Miran FG, who's now on the back of Alfred Klaus. Dennis Graf now sets the fast lap of the race as FG is closing in on Alfred Klaus. We could see a battle there maybe in a few following laps.
We see, as I said, this street, it's half street circuit, half man-made built track. So there is definitely gonna be, some aspects that some of the drivers may struggle, some of the drivers may, excel at. And here comes Thomas Mandich once again, just right behind Fernando Toss. 3 tenths of a gap. Can he close him up? I don't see. We'll see about that. But here goes Enes Parashki. He's really close on the back of Miran FG, just all on his back, and now onto the hairpin. And you see there, if he's not careful with his move, I think Dennis Graf could have took the position away from Parashki.
Yeah, Enes Parashki, who's really on the back of Miran FG, they're trying to pressure him to try and get past, but yeah, as you said, if Parashki is not careful with Miran FG here, that could prompt Dennis Graf to try and slip past and make an overtake. So Parashki is going to have to play offense here, but he's also going to have to be on defense as well for Dennis Graf. So it's going to be quite interesting, I think.
Definitely is. He has to manage to, he's being sandwiches from both Ferraris for Enes Parashki. So yeah, he might have to be careful with him. They might play in some mind games with him. And we see there just by Johansson still in the lead. Alfred Klaus not far behind, 9 tenths of a gap. Miran FG also right behind as well. Here goes now Thomas Mandich. We're back to this back duel for Fernando Toss and Thomas Mandich. Mandich still can't get past Fernando Toss. He just defend as hard. Seems like he just take that skills from Fernando Alonso, I guess. And then here goes Mandich trying to go for it, look for a gap, but it wasn't enough just yet. Still got the DRS, and here it goes now into the straights, and then into the last chicane. As we see now, here it goes, getting closer. Miran FG sets the fastest lap time now, take over from Dennis Graf. And there it goes now. Mandich, could he be able to go for it? No, he can't.
Yeah, this probably is the most frustrating race of Thomas Mandich's F1 career, I think it would be. Because he has been stuck behind Fernando Toss for the entire race and he's not been able to overtake. Either way, the guys at the top, the gaps are just getting closer there. The gap between Johansson and Klaus is now just about under a second. So Klaus might be catching Johansson, and FG, who's trying to catch Klaus, has just ended up with Enes Parachki catching up to him.
Indeed, and here goes let's have a look at the back of the field here as Kaiser Resner is just right behind Volta Kulasek. Still trying to look for a move for Kaiser Resner, and there he goes now into the straight and then the hairpin. Maybe a little bit too far here, and yeah, he just keep it that far, but oh, he went wide. I think maybe a little bit catch up, but he's also had a big gap to Sereznia as well, so that might not be enough.
Yeah, Sereznia almost had a great battle with Luca Freire. He's now trying to catch up to Wojtek Kulasek. Nothing coming out of that though. Same can be said for this Tomas Mandic versus Fernando Tost. Nothing's really come out of this just yet. I think Fernando Tost probably is. I mean, yeah, I don't think he has too much worries in the world at the moment. P6 and he's been defending from Tomas Mandic, which looks like, not to discredit Mandic, obviously, he's a great driver, but it looks quite easy at the moment as Mandic is very frustrated, he's not been able to get past. Here's an interesting battle though. Patel, Gamba and Özkan for P8.
Is an interesting battle developing, and you could see that Patel is just 4 seconds behind Tomas Mandic, but he also has 2 cars to accompany with Franco Gamba is in 9th now, and then Samuel Oskan in 10th place. It's still, I guess, I would definitely say it's still a DRS train for these 3 cars, but I don't know, it's all about the pace at this point, and if some guys didn't have the pace to go for at the front and may slow down one of these 3 guys, so I guess, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it is gonna be quite tough. Either way, Samet Özkan, we've seen him make some nice little moves so far this season. Same goes for Lewis McIntyre, who was obviously in the points. Very big shame that he DNF'd. Could have been very good points for his team today. He always gets unlucky with that. If you think back to Hungary of last year, he qualified P7 or P8 in the Alfa Romeo, and he was taken out by Miran FG, which was just a massive shame for Lewis McIntyre. So it feels like every time he does get lucky, something just goes wrong for him.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate for Lewis McIntyre. The only retirement so far in this race, but yeah, we'll just wait and see if there's any more dramatic moments in this race. But as we see now, these top 5 guys, they still not have changed position at all, and we're focusing on Miran FG right now as he's trying to follow the rapport of Albert Klaus. And I think, yeah, look at see there, Miran FG still trying to make some gap, and here it goes now. Jafari Blackwood, we might see some battles there. Go down into the final chicanes, cuts across the curve. Jafari Blackwood trying to go for a move on Maximilian Novikov, and here he goes now into turn 1. He's trying to find a room, and he's just look on the outside now, down the inside on turn 1. It's not really enough, but to go outside as well in turn 2. No, he still can't find room. Big defense there for Novikov.
Yeah, good defending there from the Williams driver, Maximilian Novikov, putting up the defense to Jafari Blackwood in far more uncompetitive car. Williams is actually looking pretty good today. P13 and P15, obviously no points, but it is still quite good for the 2. As the top 3 are now closing in on each other with 4 laps to go. This could be interesting, Pausa.
Could be. I mean, I think if somebody dares enough, I think they could go for a daring pass on maybe on the last corner, the last chicane. I don't know, but we'll just wait and see as we're now entering lap 23 out of 26, and Miran FG still just trying to find any possible pace advantage that he could to try and catch up to Alfred Klaus and Jesper Johansson as well. But you see there, still no changes, but you can see the gap is actually getting closer. It was, I think it was 0.8 of a second gap in the last couple of laps. It's now down to about 0.7 on this lap.
Yeah, FG's he's closed in on Klaus, but the important thing is that Klaus is closing in on Johansson. As you said, that gap down by about a second, or sorry, not a second. That would be impressive. It was by a second, but it's by a tenth of a second to Jesper Johansson. So we'll see if Alfred Klaus can manage to close down that gap to Johansson and maybe make the overtake. It'll be interesting if he does, but at the moment it is looking a bit unlikely unless his pace just rockets off from absolutely nowhere. I see Jesper Johansson taking the victory today, but we will see. It's not over until it's over.
Indeed, and here goes top 5, still staying pretty close. I think it's about it's probably spread out by 2 or 3 seconds between top 5, and you see the 8th, 9th and 10th guy, they also improved their personal best lap times as well. And here you see now Simon Austin in P10, very close on the back of Franco Gamba. Might have made a move after all, but we'll have to wait and see. But still 3 laps, actually, yeah, 24, 25, 26, yeah, 3 laps to go in this race. As we still see Oscar still right behind Franco Gamba. Gamba's still holding on there for the McLaren driver, and also plus with Mohamed Patel. So he's probably clear away from those 2 guys on 9th and 10th. So you see Thomas Mandic still trying to find a way past Fernando Tost. I think, yeah, well, he's Fernando Alonso in this world, I guess.
I guess he is. That's some very good defending from Fernando Tost at the moment, as Jesper Johansson at the fastest lap sets a grim message for his competitors, Alfred Klaus and Miran Evji, as Johansson now pulls away a bit from Alfred Klaus. But Thomas Mandic, the other Red Bull, has just been stuck by the McLaren the entire race, and yeah, this is not good news for Thomas Mandic, as he surely has to be frustrated behind the wheel of that Red Bull at the moment. He just can't find the pace.
He definitely can't find the pace, and you see that. I think he's probably struggling with the tires as well, and he couldn't find the pace. But oh, here we go. He's trying, as we said that, he just trying to go for a move on Fernando Tost, and he's just really close behind, 0.3 of a gap. Now into this corner, he's trying to stay close to Fernando Tost. It's still it's only 2 laps to go in this race, so we'll see if Tost is going to be able to defend on Thomas Mandic once again. And here goes Mandic, really late braking than Tost, and here we see it's now stretching out to 0.4 of a second gap once again. He has a DRS, but also Tost has also has DRS as well, so it could be something now, as we see the leaders are on the final lap. Now you see, here it goes, Thomas Mandic still still trying to make a move on Fernando Tost. You see Jafari Blackwood might have a try again on Maximilian Novikov as well. And that's a little bit slide there for Novikov. And Blackwood, here it goes, the final lap of the Canadian Grand Prix for these guys. See Thomas Mandic still trying to go for a move. Oh, he looks for a move on this corner. I think it was turn 6. But it still wasn't enough yet for Thomas Mandic. And I think, yeah, just behind Johansson now, just coming out of the hairpin, as we see still those 2, both Fernando Tost and Thomas Mandic, still battling, but Jesper Johansson just coming out. It's only 2 corners left to go for him, leading all the laps, coming round the final corner. Jesper Johansson, he will take the win here at the Canadian Grand Prix at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff from Jesper Johansson. Doing what he does best, winning from lights to flag. That's the second race win for Jesper Johansson in the season as he wins the Canadian Grand Prix, and he's going to secure the championship lead with that. Alfred Klaus coming P2 GM, Thomas Mandich P7. It's a day to forget for the Red Bull driver. As we just wait for the others to make their way across the line, and there we go. So your final race classifications then, we'll just go through, I'll go through this first page and then you go through the second. So it's Jesper Johansson who wins the Canadian Grand Prix. He takes the race victory here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and it's Alfred Klaus in P2 and Miran Evji in P3, and his Ferrari finishes P4 with the fastest lap. That's Dennis Graf, and then Fernando Tost in P6, and then Thomas Mandich in P7. Franco Gamba P8. Pretty good day for McLaren, P6 and P8. Then it's Franco Gamba who finishes P9, or did I say P8? I meant P6 and P9. Mohamed Patel finishes P8, Gamba P9, and then Samet Özkan gets 1 point in P10.
Mm-hmm. And then also Labazasniski will finish in P11. Victor Albon for the Haas finishes in P12. Joseph Frederick Suter will finishes in 13th. Milka Singh finished 14th. Maximilian Novikov will finish 15th, and then Jafari Blackwoods in 16th. Watakula Sektor will finish in P17. Kaiser Resniak finishes in 18th. Luca Farina finishes in P19, and Lewis McIntyre retires from this race. The only retirement of the race, actually.
Yeah, it was quite a big shame for Lewis McIntyre, but yeah, that's been it for the ACOC today. Pause before we go. Would you like to award Driver of the Day?
Oh boy, I think there weren't as many actions as I would expect, but there weren't many actions that as I was expecting. But considering this as the half man-made track and a bit of half street circuit track, but yeah, I think for me, with the good defense on Thomas Mandich, I gotta give to Fernando Toss. He was actually the Polish driver, not Spanish driver. A little bit correction there, sorry about that. But for me, I think Fernando Toss is my driver of the day.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there on that, Pausa. Fernando Tost, absolutely fantastic defending from him the entirety of the race, and he's done very well. So Fernando Tost, you are our driver of the day. But yes, that is it then for the ACC. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you, I believe, tomorrow for the Mexico City Prix for Formula E. So make sure to not miss that, as the Formula E Championship battle also carries on. But yeah, that's been it for me. I've been Miran OG.
I've been Pausa.
Thanks so much for watching. We will see you when the ACOC returns.